Hey folks, good day. Hilary Freitas here, Marketing Mom, and our co-host Bernadette Chinley will be joining us shortly. This is Marketing Moms Trinidad, and today we are going to be talking about list building and list generation. But before we jump into one of the things that Bernie and I spoke about recently was that for those who don't follow us all the time, or if you only follow this Marketing Moms Trinidad, you wouldn't know what we've been doing on the side, right? And yes, we share a lot of stuff with you, and our goal is really to get as many moms into the position of where I am, at home, available for whenever my child needs me, but running a business from home, all right? And we do a lot of other things on the side. And this week, one of the things, it was interesting because I got a question from another member in our mastermind group, Elite Marketing Pro, that mastermind group that both Benny and I are a part of. And he asked the question, hey, Hillary, what do you do if your Facebook account has been hacked? And it was interesting because I didn't know the answer. I just assumed you shut down and you start a new Facebook. But apparently it turns out that Facebook has already thought of that problem happening. And what's interesting is that recently I was, looking for some gigs on Fiverr. Fiverr is a site where you can outsource certain information or outsource certain jobs that if you don't think that you have the skill to do, like creating a website banner or creating a business logo, you could outsource that for $5. But what was interesting is that while I was searching for that, I saw people posting jobs that they could hack Facebook accounts. So it was quite interesting. So I did a blog post on that. It hasn't been published yet, but I'm writing it because you need to know what to do. All right. Facebook does have a little solution where you can not email them, but basically there's a process that you go through with Facebook so that you're able to basically get your account back. And if all else fails, then basically you will have to open up a new Facebook account. All right. So that was one of the things that I discovered last week, and I'm sharing information about it. All right. The other thing that I did publish was on Facebook retargeting, because recently, or not so recently, we've had a lot of questions about what is that ad that keeps following me all over the internet. If you've been to Amazon recently and then you jump on Facebook and for whatever reason you keep seeing this same product that I was just looking at on Amazon, it's there, it's everywhere. Well, that's Facebook retargeting, right? Now, remarketing is not a new concept at all. Basically, it's taking people who you already know and reselling to them, remarketing to them. And it's something that's a concept that actually feeds right into what we're going to be talking about and training about today, which is list generation. Because what remarketing does is it allows you to create a list in a different way. And then you take that list and you remarket services to them. So for example, you went to my website and you were snooping around and looking at Facebook marketing, for example. Then you may see Facebook consulting services being shown in front of your face, right? Because you visited the Facebook section of my page or whatever it may be, okay? So that is something that is it's kind of exploding in the marketing realm. And if it's not something that you're doing in your business, it is something that you need to really start considering how you could maximize that. It also lends to the fact that for small businesses, it is very important that you own your own website, because you could only do this if you own your own blog or website. You can't do it if your website is basically your Facebook fan page. Then you can't retarget. There's no way you can, because you have nothing to send people to and bring them back. All right. And then the last thing that I did last week was sales funnel, a review of the sales funnel again. And for those of our viewers, if you remember, we actually did a very in-depth sales funnel presentation a couple months ago. And this was just kind of like a revisit of that, because you know, you don't ever consolidate anything until you actually, you know, get it told to you over and over again. And for as long as we've been doing this business, I think sales funnel training is probably the one training that I continually reference, because the concept has to stay in your mind, what it is that you're doing. You know, and part of list generation, as we will see, is understanding in some serious depth what a sales funnel is. But then also it gives you the power to be able to remarket to viewers. All right. So let me just quit this. Right. So today, you know, one of the things last week that I struggled with was getting a Facebook ad up. I'm into Facebook marketing and I love Facebook marketing. But one of these things that I was stuck on was trying to get the perfect ad. And it's not a new problem that I've had, but it's certainly something that I was able to nip in the bud a good while ago. And I thought I had that under control. But here I was last week trying to figure out, how is this ad going to work? And I never got the ad up until Saturday because I so wanted it to be perfect. So the lesson in that, you know, that before we dive into the meat of this list building, is that done is better than perfect. And I think it is a principle that we have to kind of follow through with our businesses, because when you are creating your list, or when you are creating your follow-up series, as we're going to talk about a little later here, you don't have to be perfect, because guess what? You can always go back and edit. You can always go back and change. But if you don't have the mechanisms in place to even create your list, and you're waiting to create that perfect capture page, waiting to create that perfect offer, then you're never going to have a business and you're never going to kick off. All right. So for those viewers outside, if you have any questions, I'm just letting you know, the nine little white squares that's on your top right hand corner, if you click on that, you will see showcase and question and answer. Just click on the Q&A so that you can ask your questions, all right, as we go through. So let's jump right in. And I'm just keeping an eye on the time here to make sure that we don't go over, because this actually, we're going to be covering a lot of aspects of list building and basically lead generation, how to build a list for quite a few, well, for the month of July. All right. So if you have any questions, just remember, you can ask them during the call. Just send us an email at marketingmomstrinidad@gmail.com. All right. Now, one of the first things that people always ask is, what's a list? All right. And today we're going to be focusing on the email list. But I want people to keep in mind that a list could be anything, right? What you want to know is that the money is in the list. Everybody knows the money is in the list. But what is a list? It's a group of people. And who are the ones that purchase your products? The people, right? So an email list, I want people to get into their head that an email list is not the only type of list that you can build. All right. But when we talk about lead generation, the most obvious and the first point of building a list is through an email list. All right. Now, examples of other lists that you can have. Facebook followers, for example. You have 5,000 fans. You got 5,000 people you could possibly market to. That's a huge list. All right. Now, if you have 5,000 emails, that's an even stronger list, because a like on Facebook is a very different yes to enter your email into a capture page. All right. So what we're going to be looking at, and I was hoping to do a screen share if Bernadette was here with me, but I don't want to jump away from the screen because then I won't see your questions. All right. So you're going to have to visualize this whole process with me here. all right? The lead generation system starts with you sending people in a traffic jam, like on a highway, to a capture page, all right? What's a capture page? A capture page is basically where you capture information, all right? So, but why would anybody want to share their information with you? You have to be giving them something that's valuable, all right? And this is the crux of your lead generation, all right? So you can have all the mechanisms in place, all right? So for example, you can have all the advertisements, all the ads driving traffic to a capture page. You can have a compelling offer. You can have an AWeber setup. You can have a follow-up series, but you really need to know what it is that people want from you and not the item. Now, this is where we get where the rubber hits the road. You have to know what is the benefit of the benefit that people are going to be getting, right, when they exchange their name, number, email, credit card information for what you have to offer. All right, that is very important. Okay, if I suffer from headaches, and if I have suffered from headaches from the time I was 3 years old, and I am always on Advil, and I am always on Tylenol, and I am always on every drug, you name it, all right? And one day I come across an ad that says, get rid of your headaches. Do you think I'm going to click on that? Obviously. I'm first going to click on that. And then when I land on the capture page that says, get rid of your headaches without taking any more pills, enter your name and email address to get more information. Do you think I'm going to enter my name and email address? Yeah, I am. I'm definitely going to do that because I suffer from headaches and I'm always on pills. So I want a way to get rid of my headache without ever having to take pills again. So when you are positioning, and once I put that information in, that person has just generated a lead, all right? And you see the power in knowing what your offer is going to do for someone, all right? So you're in business, all right? And whatever product you're selling, whether it's info products or what, you have to get down to what is that benefit, all right? Now notice there were two things that I did there, all right? I spoke about the pain of me suffering from headaches since I was 3 years, all right? The person who's selling me the natural remedy to headaches on the other end, all right, on the other side of that capture page, that person who's selling it to me, they have to know me as a person so well that I to know that I actually have suffered with headaches since I was 3. They have to know that I've tried every tablet on the face of the earth, all right? And then they have to communicate that back to me on their capture page, on their ad, so that I am driven to want to share my information with them, all right? There's a concept that one of our mentors, M.oney, talks about: small yeses lead to big yeses. So what happened there with the ad for me was that, do you suffer from headaches? Yes. Click. Capture page now shows up. Method of getting rid of headaches without taking tablets. That's me. I take a lot of tablets and I want to get rid of my headaches. Let me put in my information. That's the second yes. And the lead has been generated. Okay. The concept is very easy to explain, to conceptualize. But really, when you get down into trying to figure out what are people's pains, what are people suffering from, and what solution do I have to offer them, that is when you're able to generate leads. Now you can have all of the other little pieces, and going through the month, the rest of the month, we're actually, we're going to show you the technical side of things, all right? How to build a capture page, what headlines to use, how to integrate it if you have your own your own website, or if you are using a system like Bernadette and I are using, I have my own website, so we're going to be able to demonstrate that to those who have their own WordPress blog, how you integrate it. It's a one-click method, by the way, which is why I love it. And what your follow-up series should be, you know, in terms of building that trust and building that rapport with those people. But the essential piece of actually capturing that lead is knowing what their pain is and being able to tell them that your solution can actually solve that pain. Now, what you don't want to do is be like scam artists and say, yes, it will solve your problem, and then it doesn't, because that's when you lose the lead as quickly as you gained it. All right. So in business, you need to be honest. You know, if it's one thing I hate is when people tell me this is going to work and then it doesn't. All right. Especially when it comes to medical stuff. All right. Because I do suffer from headaches. So I've been through that sales funnel. So I know. All right. So the crux of it is understanding, being able to connect pain to problem, all right, pain to solution. And that is what a list is. Now, when we talk about that, and that's the email list, right? But when we talk about a simple list, like a Facebook fan page, okay? So for those who are doing Facebook ads, and oops, where did my window go? For those of us who are doing Facebook ads, and there you go, whew, my window just disappeared. And Facebook like campaigns, all right? Those of us who are doing that type of stuff, you want to, again, it's the same concept, but you're not collecting information necessarily from them. So your compelling offer doesn't have to be as high and as serious as for a capture page, all right? So what you want to do is basically, if you're just generating a list of likes or a list of followers on YouTube or whatever the case may be, you just want to share something that would match them, all right? So you notice I'm speaking more about the customer here again, right? The person who you want to reach. In our world of online marketing, we call that person the avatar, all right? Now, the avatar is one person. So recently, I relaunched another Facebook Live campaign. And interestingly enough, on my post, I decided I'm going to speak to this one person. All right. And this one person, I'm only going to speak to them. My ads are going to speak to them and everything. And this campaign has had faster uptake in likes than my previous campaign, where I was trying to be very general and the target market type of way. Now, we've learned in marketing, you know, you start with your target market, all right? Your target market could be 50 million people to 20,000 people, right? What we're saying is that in order to generate leads, you have to speak to one person. Now, again, if we go back to that capture page example where the ad, headaches, do you have headaches? Do you suffer from headaches? All right. It's not that only one person suffers from headaches. All right. But the way it is worded, it's as if it's worded directly at me. And that's what you want in your advertising, in your capture page. You want it to be worded in such a way that it speaks to one person. And that when that person reads it, they feel as if they're the only person in the world that this has showed up in front of. Okay? That's what you want to do. Okay? So when you are trying to generate leads, don't think about the 10,000 people that you want on your list. Think about the one person that you want on your list, because that one person is going to be replicated 10,000 times. All right? So that is, in a nutshell, the beginning, the intro of what we're going to be talking about in this month of July, lead generation. We are going to get into the technical little pieces of what you need to have and all that stuff. But today lays the foundation of what lead generation is. And it starts with your avatar. It starts with knowing your avatar. Terribly sorry, it's raining here in Trinidad. It starts with knowing who your avatar is, knowing what they suffer, what pains they're going through, and then being able to connect those dots, being able to say, okay, this is the solution to your burning problem. All right. So if we don't have any questions, we're going to wrap this one up early. I do want to say that, you know, if you have any questions, comments, or if you want to learn more before next week, send us an email at marketingmomstrinidad@gmail.com and just put in the subject line, tell me more. All right. So then tell me more, and you could put whatever it's about. Okay. So do that for us. Leave us any comments or anything like that. Let us know what more you want, if you want us to go over something. All right. And also for those who are interested in learning more about, we've mentioned several times Elite Marketing Pro in our system. If you're interested in becoming one of our partners in this business, you can also send us that email at marketingmomstrinidad@gmail.com and just put in the subject line, tell me more EMP. All right. So if we don't have any more questions, we're gonna wrap this up now. But this month, we're really talking about lead generation. We start off with knowing who your avatar is, all right, and being able to speak to that avatar, and what you have to the more you want out of somebody in terms of name, email, phone number, you have to be giving them something very compelling that they are going to want to just hand over everything to you just to get that information. All right, not only information or that product, right? To this day, I still suffer from headaches, but that's okay. I just drink water. All right. But you don't want to have your clients, your customers still suffering. So whatever it is, if you are saying you can't deliver on it. All right. And then it will just lead to better relations once you have actually generated that lead. Okay. This has been Hillary, the Freitas Marketing Mom. And unfortunately, Bernadette was not able to join us today, but she'll be with us next week. All right. Same time, same channel. We are continuing lead generation this month. We're going to get a little technical next week. All right. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.